All right, so I am sitting inside the interior and I'm going to start from left to right. You've got the two-tone, the leather style interior here with power window, power door lock, and I believe child lock over here. All of that works. Vent works. Moving up here, the boost controller we talked about earlier, the HKS, I made a custom mount that you can see here that has a suction cup and actually holds the screen here to keep that in the corner so that it's out of the way and is not obnoxious like some of the 3-pillar pods are that you see. These days you really don't need all of the gauges in your car anymore because a lot of the tuning software and things are able to plug into laptops and display what you need when you need it. And then you can really declutter this, and it'll really cut down on the number of people who try to rev on you at stoplights when you're just on your way to work and not looking to race. This actually shows your boost. It'll show vacuum wherever you are right now, and then it will hold the highest boost that you've reached. So you can see for me 23.8 was the highest we've reached since this build was complete. But yeah, it'll hold that, and there are directions that'll come with it to show you how to reset it. It's not a pretty screen, but if you want a nice new one or a black one, you can probably find those on eBay pretty affordably. The most expensive part you can't find affordably is the thing we saw underneath the hood, which is a stepper motor, and that's unique to HKS. It's unlike the other products that are on the market that use those little boxes like Greddy has. They'll sometimes call them stepper motors, but they're definitely not the robust mechanical device like HKS has here. So anyways, the screen, something easy to find, but most people don't really care. It does what it's supposed to do. Everything here is factory, the steering wheel, the gauges, nothing fancy there. I wanted to keep that kind of, just pretty basic. I mean, it's solid, there's cruise control, that works. And that's how you set it, but most people know that if you're looking at a car. Now, the gauges I do have in here are something I always like to have visible for me. It's just my taste. So I've got the wideband, and I've got the boost gauge, and this boost gauge is digital, so it doesn't have that gaudy piece of plastic and rubber hose running to the back of it. It actually, that runs to a electronic control box down into the dash, and then the wiring harness runs to here, so it's a good clean install. The power for this gauge setup here is run properly. So is the boost controller to a relay underneath the center console that's powered by the battery and triggered by the power from the ignition at the appropriate time frame in the ignition on cycle. So it works great. There's not random wires running all over the place, connected to who knows what without fuses or all of that stuff. It's properly connected. If you look down here, this is another part of the control system for the boost controller. That's a Velcroed there. So technically, if you didn't like it to be there, which it's out of the way and no one sees it and it looks good, you could unvelcro that and tuck it up underneath the dash, but most of us want to be able to utilize those knobs, so they are there to see. There are some paint color matched parts here that came off of another car. I decided to put them in here. Not sure how you feel about them, but if you don't like them, I can find the black pieces, just a regular factory black, to give to you. I thought it would go well with the silver bezel of the gauges, so I put that here. There's also a silver one of these, and there's also a silver version that goes around the gauges that you'll get because I probably won't use them, and maybe you'd like to have more silver parts. I have not cleaned the interior at all, so the way that you see it is exactly how it is. Actually, I did have the carpet cleaned, but you can see I've spilled some little dust stuff over here during the installation of some control equipment back there. But that will vacuum right up, and the floor will overall look pretty good. Other door panel, Greddy weighted shift knob. Let's see if you can. Video is kind of bright, but there you go. Now you can see it. There's a touchscreen radio, but this is a just one of those Chinese MP3 Bluetooth things. You know, it's only a couple inches thick. It's not a CD player. You know, it weighs like a couple ounces. I thought it was really cool to have in here, just as some sort of radio, something or the other. I don't want to even try to say that it's any type of quality at all. It looks cool, it does what it's supposed to do, but you know, if you can hear that little high pitch you know, whistle at the moment, you know, it doesn't have a filter on the ground, you know, so it's just a cheap little radio that I put in here so that you had something until you decided to put you know, an audio system in here. The audio in this car is nothing to write home about at all. I put upgraded speakers in the front, but I didn't put anything in the back. Honestly, that's something that it really could use, is a high quality stereo system. You know, and I'm not talking about subs and all of that, you know, just some great speakers in the front and the rear, an upgraded deck, and an amplifier will really make this thing a wonderful sounding, you know, setup. Now there's back seats, nothing going on here, but underneath the back seat, which is dirty, I have not vacuumed it off. That is water, looks like sweat, but it's like a salty water stain that's on there from when I bought the car. But that'll come out mostly, I'm pretty sure, but most guys don't even care about the seats and chairs that are in here right now. They're going to rip them out. They're going to put in black leather from the 2G or the 3G Eclipse, and they're going to swap these front seats, I know, almost immediately for the newest generation Eclipse seats or for race seats or something like that. So that's why I haven't really bothered even cleaning these. Literally just left them exactly as they are. Headliner I did redo in black. Over here you can see one of the visors is still tan. That will be black before the car sells, so there will be a black one. If you look over here, I redid this one and it came out really great in black, and I even added the home link. The power is not wired up just yet. I'm gonna tap it into here, but I like the home link because I have a garage and I planned on keeping this car for a while originally, and so this actually gets me into the gate of my neighborhood, and it also gets me into my garage door, so it was really cool. But yeah, I've got a couple little spots on the headliner to finish up, just talking a few minutes, like the end right here. This is brand new, but I didn't apply enough adhesive in the front on the carding, so you know that will be done, nothing major. But yeah, that's the interior. It's an Eclipse. You know, it's not really fancy, but it is what it is. I've loved them for years and years, and there's really a lot you can do with this still. You know, if you don't like this steering wheel, you can swap this out for the Lancer Evo, black steering wheel with carbon fiber, and that looks really sweet with the newest generation Eclipse seats bolted in here. And the newest generation Eclipse back seats bolted in. You know, in just a few days you could take this car, you know, beyond where I have it. The claim to fame on this right now is the quality and the power of the build. So mechanically, this one is going to drive for a very long time, and you have the trust that you're going to be able to communicate with me for as long as I'm breathing, and as long as you own the car. And that matters to some people. I hope it matters to you. Because the thing we all hate is buying a car and, you know, risking that it could have been a lemon, and then the owner knew about it and didn't tell you, and you call them and they never answer their phone again. Well, that's not going to happen with me. Anyone that's ever bought a car from me is welcome to continue to call, because chances are, if you love this kind of car, we'll end up being friends anyways, meeting at the car meets, or showing up on the web forums, what have you. But anyways, thanks for watching, and hope to talk soon.